Today our topic is what the samurai and Stoics have in common. At first glance, samurai and Stoics might seem like they belong to completely different worlds. The samurai were warriors from Japan, known for their skill with the sword and their strict code of honor. The Stoics, on the other hand, were philosophers from ancient Greece and Rome, who taught people how to live a good life through reason and self-control. But if you look closer, you will see that these two groups share some surprising similarities. Both the samurai and the Stoics believed in living a life of discipline, courage, and virtue. They both understood that life is full of challenges, and that the way we respond to these challenges defines who we are. Let's take a closer look at what these two traditions can teach us about living a meaningful life. First, let's talk about discipline. The samurai were trained from a young age to master their minds and bodies. They practiced martial arts, meditation, and the art of the sword. They believed that true strength comes from self-control and the ability to stay calm in the face of danger. The Stoics also believed in the importance of discipline. They taught that we should not let our emotions control us. Instead, we should use reason to guide our actions. Both the samurai and the Stoics knew that discipline is not something that comes naturally. It requires constant practice and effort. Whether you are a warrior or a philosopher, you must be willing to work hard and push yourself to become better. Courage is another quality that the samurai and the Stoics valued highly. For the samurai, courage was not just about facing danger on the battlefield. It was also about standing up for what is right, even when it is difficult. The samurai believed that a true warrior must be willing to sacrifice everything, including their own life, for the sake of honor and duty. The Stoics also believed in the importance of courage. They taught that we should not be afraid of hardship or suffering. Instead, we should face these challenges with bravery and determination. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This is a lesson that the samurai would have understood well. Both traditions teach us that courage is not the absence of fear, but the ability to act in spite of it. Another important idea that the samurai and the Stoics shared is the concept of virtue. For the samurai, virtue was closely tied to their code of honor, known as Bushido. This code emphasized values like loyalty, respect, and integrity. The samurai believed that a person's character was more important than their skill with a sword. A true warrior was someone who lived by these principles, even when no one was watching. The Stoics also believed in the importance of virtue. They taught that the goal of life is to live in accordance with nature and to develop qualities like wisdom, justice, and self-control. The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." This idea is very similar to the samurai belief that actions speak louder than words. Both traditions remind us that true greatness comes from living a life of integrity and moral excellence. One of the most interesting similarities between the samurai and the Stoics is their attitude towards death. The samurai were trained to accept death as a natural part of life. They believed that a warrior should always be prepared to die, and that this readiness would give them the courage to live fully. The Stoics also had a unique perspective on death. They believed that death is not something to be feared, but rather a reminder of the fragility of life. The Stoic philosopher Seneca wrote, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." Both the samurai and the Stoics understood that life is short and that we should make the most of the time we have. They believed that by accepting the inevitability of death, we can free ourselves from fear and live with greater purpose and meaning. The samurai and the Stoics also shared a deep respect for nature and the natural order of things. The samurai believed that they were part of a larger universe, and that their actions should be in harmony with the natural world. They practiced Zen Buddhism, which taught them to find peace and clarity through meditation and mindfulness. The Stoics also believed in living in harmony with nature. They taught that everything in the universe is interconnected, and that we should accept the things we cannot change. The Stoic philosopher Zen once said, "The goal of life is living in agreement with nature." This idea is very similar to the samurai belief in the importance of balance and harmony. Both traditions remind us that we are part of something greater than ourselves, and that we should strive to live in a way that respects the natural order of the world. Finally, both the samurai and the Stoics believed in the importance of self-improvement. The samurai were constantly working to improve their skills and their character. They believed that a true warrior should never stop learning and growing. The Stoics also believed in the importance of self-improvement. They taught that we should always be striving to become better versions of ourselves. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." This is a lesson that the samurai would have understood well. Both traditions teach us that the path to greatness is a lifelong journey, and that we should never be satisfied with where we are. Instead, we should always be pushing ourselves to grow and improve. So, what can we learn from the samurai and the Stoics? First, we can learn the importance of discipline. Whether we are facing a difficult challenge or simply trying to improve ourselves, we need to have the self-control and determination to keep going. Second, we can learn the value of courage. Life is full of challenges, and we need to be brave enough to face them head-on. Third, we can learn the importance of virtue. Living a life of integrity and moral excellence is more important than any external success. Fourth, we can learn to accept the inevitability of death and use it as a reminder to live fully and with purpose. Fifth, we can learn to live in harmony with nature and to respect the natural order of the world. And finally, we can learn the importance of self-improvement. The journey to greatness is a lifelong process, and we should always be striving to become better versions of ourselves. The samurai and the Stoics may have lived in different times and places, but their teachings are still relevant today. In a world that often feels chaotic and uncertain, we can find guidance in their lessons on discipline, courage, virtue, and self-improvement. By following their example, we can learn to live with greater purpose, meaning, and resilience. Whether we are facing a personal challenge or simply trying to navigate the complexities of modern life, the wisdom of the samurai and the Stoics can help us find the strength and clarity we need to move forward. So, let us take inspiration from these two great traditions and strive to live a life of honor, courage, and virtue. Let us embrace the challenges of life with discipline and determination, and let us never stop working to become the best versions of ourselves.